Tiffany Ashton with ClinEssentials. I'm here with another video, and this time I'm going to talk about tips for working with global teams. So on clinical research trials nowadays, you have team members from all over the world. You could have team members in Canada, in the US, in Brazil, in the UK, in Poland, in Bulgaria, just everywhere. And it's so exciting when you get to have team members from all over the world on your team and contributing to the project. They bring perspectives, their historical experience, and just a lot of added value. Now, a couple of things for making working with global teams successful. You want to make sure you align as a team internally. So tip number one would be to have a team meeting the first time the global team is built. If you are a CTM, it would be good to hold an internal team meeting after the kickoff meeting and bring all of your team members together. During that meeting, it would be great for everyone to give introductions, a little bit of background about themselves, and then it would be great if they could identify and outline their typical working hours, their typical working days, and any national holidays that they have in their countries that could be used for planning. Now, imagine when you're working with global teams and you need input from everyone and there are database locks or interim analysis, but you didn't realize it's Golden Week for your Japanese colleagues. And you didn't take into account that there are certain holidays in other countries outside of the United States that are national holidays that you may need to factor into the overarching timelines. So that's one tip, is to align on working hours, working days, and national holidays, because they can have impacts on your timelines. Now, another thing about working days, you want to pick the best day for the internal team to meet weekly, and sometimes that's a Friday. However, in some countries, the weekends are Friday and Saturday, and the work days are Sunday through Thursday. So you need to be aware if you have any team members that are in countries that have weekends that start on Friday and Saturday, and then they're working traditionally Sunday through Thursday. So that's why it's always important to align. Another way to align internally is on the communication styles. Do they prefer written? Do they prefer phone or another method? I've had colleagues in my past that preferred written communication because sometimes they use a translator software to make sure that what they wrote in their language translated to what they intended in English. So sometimes for those colleagues, they would prefer to have written communication versus a lot of phone calls. So that's another important tip, to understand the communication preferences for your internal team when you're working with the global team. And the last tip that I would like to share is making sure that you are familiar with the cultural norms. So preferred greetings, making sure that you understand how to pronounce your team members' names, and just making sure that you are being respectful of their culture and not being disrespectful unintentionally because you're not aware. So one example, when you are working with colleagues in Japan, the proper greeting when you're emailing them would be to say their name -SAN, and it's pronounced son. So for me, when they greet me, they would say, "Hello, Tiffany-san," and then you go into the rest of the email. And that's an appropriate greeting. That's more proper than just saying, "Hello, Tiffany," in an email. So you want to be aware when you're working with various team members of the cultural norms, what's appropriate to say or not say, how to appropriately greet them in writing or over the phone, to make sure that you aren't unknowingly disrespectful to their culture. So those are a few tips that I would like to share about working with global teams. And again, global teams can be on a study that is only based in the United States as well. So it doesn't have to be a global study to have a global team member. You may have a US only study, but you may have team members assigned from all over the world. All right, we'll see you again for the next video. Bye.